Hey kids, so I'm continuing to work on this playhouse ladder that I did some videos on last week. What I want to show you today is how to make a plunge cut with a circular saw. Now, this is kind of a tricky cut because what I did, I showed you last week, I drilled 2 holes with the hole saws and then I have to remove that material in between. There's a lot of ways you could do that. Probably one of the easiest ways, if you have a good jigsaw with a good blade, that's probably one of the easiest. I don't have a very good jigsaw here at the house, and I don't have any blades for it, and I didn't feel like going and getting any. Another cut you can make is called a plunge cut using a circular saw, and I'm going to show you how to do that here shortly. So basically what I did was, a minute ago I went through and I drilled the 2 holes, and then I connected on the very outer part. I drew a line to connect those two, and that shows me the material that I want to remove. And there's a couple things on a circular saw that are going to allow you to do this. One way, and it's probably the more dangerous way, sometimes on a job site, if we have to do this, if it's a rough cut, you can actually take this is my blade guard right here. You can lift this blade guard up and start the saw and plunge down into the material. That's one way you can do it, but I'm going to show you another technique that you can use that's a little bit safer. What you want to make sure of when you're doing this, or anytime you're using a circular saw, you don't want to put yourself in a position to where if that saw kicks back, it can hit you. So I'm going to do this, but I'm going to stay off to the side. All right, because the last thing I want, what a kickback is essentially, is if this saw kicks back. And I've actually known a couple guys who have been cut by these from a kickback. So that's something we don't want to happen. So we're going to put ourselves in a position, if that saw would ever jump on us, that we're safely out of the way. And with a cut like this, you definitely want to make sure you got both hands in a good grip on the saw. Now to do this, on this particular saw, I'm going to actually lift this up, and then that lets this float on its own. And this is a little bit loose here, so I want to tighten that down, make sure that's good and tight. What that does on the saw itself is it allows the saw to actually be cut. You can cut angles or bevels with a circular saw, but I want to keep that tight so it can't move on me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, make sure my glasses are on, and I'm going to take this saw, I'm going to lift it up, I'm going to move that blade guard out of the way. Now, what I've created now is an opportunity for me to safely start this saw and plunge it slowly down into the material. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead. I don't want to cut too far back. I don't want to cut into my holes. I just want to remove a little bit of that material. I'm not going to get all of it, so I'll show you how I'm going to clean that up here in a few minutes. So here's how I do it. Now I have to watch that blade a little bit. I might have to back up or move forward a little bit so I don't cut. I'm not going to probably be able to plunge that blade all the way through because the blade is wider than the actual cut that I'm going to make, so I have to be real careful. I'm not going to start that back down in the wood. I'm going to bring it all the way back up. That's about as far as I can safely go without getting into the material. So, now, what I want to make sure that you know is that when you're cutting something, you always want to make sure that the base of the saw has as much material as it can to keep it steady. So, I'm going to have to literally spin around this way so I can make this cut safely the other way. So, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to make this cut because this is the wider part of my material now. That's going to give me more support on my base, so that's what I want to do. I don't want to put myself in a position that this saw can teeter, because once again what we're trying not to get is a kickback. So I'm going to go ahead and make this cut from this side. You won't be able to see this as well. that thing come to a stop. I'm going to pull it out, lock it back down, get it out of the way, and I'm going to go old school to clean this up. This is just a small little handsaw. I've had this for years. Really handy tool. It's not a bigger one. It doesn't take up as much space. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this to clean the cut up and finish it up. Maybe. I have this clamped down so this board can't move. Now on this other side, I don't think I got down far enough. Let me see. I can't get that saw all the way down in. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to cut this again until I get it right. Now, the blade went through. Should be able to get my saw in. I'm going to cut this out. And what I'm left with, when I'm done, I'm going to have the hand grip that I want. And this is what I'm going for right here. This is going to be a ton of sanding. I'm going to have to literally sand all that out. That spindle sander at school would be perfect for something like this, but that's not going to happen. So this I'm going to have to do a lot of hand sanding here, but I have about 2 more to go on this one, and I have to do 4 on the other one, so I have to do this 6 more times. I'm going to actually route these on both sides, and I'll put my steps in, and when I'm done, it's going to be pretty cool, but it's a lot of work. So this is something you can do at home with the circular saw. There's a lot of pretty cool things you can do. Like I said, we always want to make sure that we don't put ourselves in a position with that saw to where we can get kickback. So those are my tips for today. The sun is starting to come out on this lovely rainy Wednesday again. Hope you're having a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.